This chapter, Attaining the Supreme, is describing the final destination of any person who has taken birth as a human being, especially. We all belong to Krishna, and Krishna has his personal kingdom. And Krishna is describing in this chapter that there is a law that is working. At the time of death, whatever we think of or whatever is our consciousness, accordingly we will get our next body. We get our next body based on what is our consciousness at the time of death. So if we practice Krishna consciousness, then we will get a body like Krishna's form, Krishna's body. Now what is Krishna's body like? Krishna's body is Satchidananda Vigraha. He is eternal, full of knowledge, full of bliss. So we will also get a form which is never going to die, which is full of knowledge, which is full of Ananda, bliss, Satchidananda, if we think of Krishna at the time of death. Now, thinking of Krishna at the time of death cannot happen suddenly when death comes. Death always comes suddenly. There is no notice of death. Even though people think when somebody becomes very, very old, he's going to die. But even an old person does not know exactly when he's going to die. That nobody knows. And when death comes, it is a state of shock. Because even though death involves just changing this body, and we are used to changing this body from childhood to youth to old age. Change of body is not new for us. Even in this life, we are changing body. But this changing body, when we are changing from childhood to youth to old age, our surroundings we see are safe. Our relatives are there, or at least our possessions are there. Even though we know some people will die, we know that some people will die. Even I am going to die. But the change of body, when we are changing from childhood to youth to old age, is not a very drastic change. It's a change which we easily accept. But the change at death, the Bhagavad Gita says, change at death is exactly like we change the body from childhood to youth to old age. Exactly like that. But the change is a shock because we have to leave everything and go. The next body, we cannot take with us whatever we have. We cannot be surrounded by relatives, continue to be surrounded by relatives, by our friends, by our possessions. We cannot be surrounded by that. Therefore, death is a very big shock. Mrityu sarva haraschaham. When death comes, the change of body at death, sarva haraha, everything is lost. So this we have to remember. Now how to face this death without becoming completely shocked? For that, Krishna is telling, you should practice remembering or thinking of Krishna before death comes. That practice is described here. How should you think of Krishna? How should you meditate on Krishna? So one should meditate upon Krishna as the one who knows everything. I do not know what is going to be my next body, but Krishna knows. Krishna knows what is my next body. He knows everything. He knows everything past, present and future. He is the oldest. Before even the creation, Krishna was existing, and therefore he is the oldest. He is older than even Brahma. But at the same time, even though he is the oldest, he is the controller. He is controlling everything, everyone and everything. He is smaller than the smallest. We are, as spirit soul, very, very tiny, very small, very tiny. Inside this body, the spirit soul, each one of us, we are spirit, we are inside the body, very, very tiny. And into that tiny soul, Krishna enters as Paramatma. So, Krishna is smaller than the smallest. And Krishna is the maintainer of everything. He maintains everyone and everything. He is beyond all material conception. Materially, we may think of some person who is very small, or of some person who is very, very powerful, controller. But Krishna is not like any person of this world. There's so many devatas, so many yogis, so many rishis. But Krishna is beyond all these rishis, devatas, beyond all yogis. He is beyond all material conception. And he is inconceivable. Inconceivable, Prabhupada explains here, that who can conceive a person who is present everywhere as Paramatma. He is present everywhere. He is entered into everything material. Every atom, every person's heart, he has entered. At the same time, he is beyond this material universe, material creation. He is beyond this material creation. So we cannot conceive somebody who is inside everything, at the same time he is outside of everything. He is inside everything, he is also outside everything. So how is that possible? That is called achintya, inconceivable, and who is always a person. He is a person. Person in our experience is somebody who is limited in form. Limited form. But Krishna is that person who has got unlimited form. Unlimited form we can understand in so many ways. His form is completely spiritual. So spiritual form is unlimited, not material form. Also, this form of Krishna is not limited to one form. He has unlimited forms. Ananta Rupa. Ananta means many, many forms. How many forms? So many forms. Each universe, there are many forms of Vishnu. Many forms of Vishnu. Every universe, there is one form of Vishnu who has entered into the universe. Then there are other forms of Vishnu who is maintaining each universe. Then there is a form of Vishnu who has entered into everybody's heart as Paramatma. So how many forms? We can't even count. Unlimited forms in this world itself as Vishnu. And then in the spiritual world, so many Vaikuntha planets. Each Vaikuntha planet, there is one form of the Supreme Lord called Narayana. And then there are many different forms other than the Narayana forms. Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Keshava, Madhava, Govinda. so many forms. Nobody can count. So many forms. So unlimited forms. Unlimited forms. So that is the spiritual form of the Supreme Person. And he is luminous like the sun. His form has got a very bright, brilliant spiritual effulgence called Brahma Jyoti. From his form, one effulgence is coming, spiritual effulgence. And then he is transcendental, he is beyond this material creation, material world, always beyond this material nature. So that type of personality, it is difficult for us to imagine or think of within our mind. Instead, we should consider the form of the deity, Archa Vigraha. Archa Vigraha form of Krishna, Rama. Rama means Balarama or Ramachandra. Or we can think of the form of Narayana, Srinivasa, Venkateshwara, Narasimha, Varaha. So many forms, deity forms, Vardaraja. So many deity forms of Krishna, any spiritual form of Krishna, Narayana, Vishnu, any of these forms we can easily meditate on. That is why there are temples. Temples of the Supreme Lord, Krishna or Vishnu or Narayana are there so that we can easily think of and meditate and fix our attention on this form. So you simply fix your attention on this form of deity, Archa Vigraha. And in that way, you are easily able to think of him. So when you come to the temple, you have darshan of the deity, you fix that form in your heart and carry that form and always think of that form as your protector, your well-wisher, your maintainer, your Lord, your master, everything that is described here in this verse. Simply think of the form of the deity, Archa Vigraha, as the form that you should always remember. In this way, very easily you can practice remembering Krishna. Another easy way is to always chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And remember this sound of Hare Krishna, the name of Krishna in the form of this Hare Krishna mantra.